Hey there guys, welcome back to Hursty Games and welcome to a player review for the brand new Player of the Month Raheem Sterling card. Now if you want to see how I unlocked this card and the packs that I got from doing this, then go and check out the live stream that I did a couple of days ago on the channel. I'll try and leave a link to it somewhere on the screen for you to go and have a look at it. It was like the first sort of section of the stream that we did was where we actually unlocked the Sterling. But for now, right here, right now, I'm going to show you how this guy did actually using him. So you can see on his card I added a Deadeye card. Wanted to up that curve and up a couple of the passing stats because his passing was a little bit lower than his dribbling, so I think that's why I boosted that. Also up that shooting. I personally think 96 pace is plenty, so I wasn't interested in using like a hunter and using 5,000 coins to basically boost 3 pace and some shooting. I thought shooting and passing, perfect. You can see the difference that makes to his card on the screen right now. I think it makes his card look very, very nice. A very good 88 looking left wing. Ups his shooting to 90 and his passing to, I think, to 92. You can see the team we're using in there. Sometimes in some of the games I did actually take the Dini out and put Aguero in, but basically I didn't want the striker to be the main highlight here. I wanted Raheem to be the highlight of this team going forwards. So I definitely wanted to try it out and kind of have him as the star man. And I think putting Dini up top really allowed me to do that. And hopefully in some of these highlights you will see that he was the main man and that I really, really loved using this card. So getting into the highlights, you can see here from watching these that he is very quick. As I put, basically the Flash. The boy is rapid, I'm telling you, right? 96 pace for me personally is more than enough. He was absolutely outpacing everyone left, right and centre. Don't need that boost in pace in my opinion. His finishing is just amazing. His finishing is fantastic. And coming in from that left hand side, personally I'm very happy he's a left winger. Cut inside, use that right foot on the finesse, and some of the driven shots are pretty good as well, but his finesse is fantastic. His finishing is just out of this world, and honestly I think he's one of my favourite wingers I've used this year. I'm not a big fan of wingers. I haven't used that many just because the formations I tend to use are 4-1-2-1-2 narrow and 4-2-3-1. I often change into that sometimes, but I don't really use wide positions that often apart from my RTG. So actually using this on my main account and actually getting Raheem into a very, very good Prem team, he's fantastic. And honestly, it's actually made me think about my weekend league team. It's genuinely made me think I kind of want to put this card in. I do kind of want to include this in my main team. If not, he's going on the bench and he's going to be my super sub and I might bring him on at cam. But all of these highlights are from left forward or left wing, that front part of the pitch. So it's worth bearing that in mind. But I do think he'll actually make quite a good cam. His stamina is fantastic. He was never tired at any point in the games. At every single game when it got to the 90th minute, he didn't feel tired. He didn't feel sort of lagging or slow at all. So I genuinely think it's a very, very good, very viable full 90-minute card. You don't need to necessarily think about taking him off or bringing him on at halftime, anything daft like that. His positioning as well is phenomenal. Some of the places he got himself into, some sort of the loose balls that he would pick up, and the fantastic runs he was actually making to allow space to be built up elsewhere on the pitch. I found him really, really good. I found him better with Aguero, I'll be honest with you. He played better with Aguero up there. I think having similar style players did help him. Dini was good. Obviously Dini at the moment has the boost that make him quite a quick striker anyway, but I think you'd need pace up there with him, players basically to keep up with him. That's the main thing. So I'm looking forward to pairing him up with my Aubameyang Player of the Month and having a really quick partnership and have them both pushing up the pitch at like the same pace and being able to keep up with each other. The only cons really are that he's quite short and that he's a little bit weak. That's literally it, and for someone of that kind of build, it's kind of what you would expect as well. A shorter player, sorry, to be fairly weak in regards to physicality when it's coming up against defenders and stuff. Most fullbacks he was out sort of pacing anyway, so they weren't keeping up with him. The only times he was really losing the ball are when centre backs and stuff were keeping up with him and they got physical. If they weren't getting onto him, like weren't actually knocking him, they weren't getting the ball off of him because his pace and his dribbling were good enough that he's just keeping hold of it and they weren't going to knock him off the ball. I honestly would say right now that this is definitely worth looking at. I think when I last checked, his SBC price was around the 300k mark. It was a little bit under that when I last checked. I think it was 280 on PlayStation and I think it was a little bit less on the Xbox. I might be incorrect, and obviously prices might change, so it might not be that expensive, it might not be that cheap. The price could have fluctuated a little bit. When I did it, he was about 260. It actually cost me 40,000 coins. I ended up using a lot of players I already had in the club, but they weren't players I was going to use, so I really wasn't too upset with using them. But honestly, 12 goals and 1 assist, only the 1 assist, which surprised me. I was expecting more assists than goals, but 12 goals and 1 assist in 7 games, fantastic. All of those were on his right foot. It's worth bearing that in mind. Didn't score a single goal with his left foot. Not because it was bad, just because I didn't use it. But honestly, I'm going to have to give this card a 9 out of 10. I think he really is very viable. I think he's weekend league ready. I think he's a very good card, and I'm not looking forward to coming up against this card. I did actually play against a guy who is using him as well, and he did get a hat-trick with his Sterling, so he obviously quite likes him as well. But I'll be honest with you, I think this Sterling card is very viable and a very good card. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this review. Please let me know down below if you ended up doing him and what you think of him, and of course let me know what you got in your packs. I'm always interested to see what you guys are packing, but hopefully this has helped you. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, of course subscribe if you're new around here, and if nothing else boys, I hope to see you all very soon. Look after yourselves, see you later.
Let's go. Hursty games, and this how we do. Now it's time we team up. Check them online, you might catch them playing FIFA. Hey, yeah, you know we keep it live. Make sure to give a like and subscribe. Gaming channel, what's the best one? Keep it hella dope, hella fresh, huh? Yeah, Hursty games, tune in. Even told my grandmama, sister, and my best friend. You might wanna check them if you wanna be entertained. You already know the name. Check us out, Hursty games. Hey, whoop. Make sure to give a like and subscribe.